Is there anything you've learned from the experiences that both your parents have gone through?
But nothing I should talk about on camera, I think.
Ah, the politician already. No.
Never. I'm going to be a teacher.
Maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to look at
we would like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because it's more inclusive.
There we go, exactly. Yes, thank you.
We can all learn from each other.
Hey everyone, this is Leigh reporting for Press for Truth. I decided to make an end-of-year video looking back at all the things Justin Trudeau didn't do for Canada in 2018. I asked you guys on Twitter to tell me what you thought was the worst thing he did this year. Some of you mentioned him being the first sitting prime minister to be found guilty of ethics violations. A lot of you brought up the groping allegations, where a former newspaper reporter claimed the self-appointed feminist Trudeau touched her inappropriately at a music festival 18 years ago, where he then refused to apologize because he said people experience things differently.
I would never presume to speak for her or to have a perspective on how she should feel or should act on this. I respect very much her right and her ability to make choices about what is best for her and her family, and I obviously will continue to stand as a defender of understanding and respect for individuals and the experiences they go through.
The India trip also popped up frequently in my Twitter mentions. You know, the infamous clip of Mr. Dressup dancing in a sari, and let's not forget the convicted attempted murderer Jaspal Atwal and the invitation to Trudeau's dinner party. Also mentioned the hijab hoax and the death of Marissa Shen. Marissa Shen was murdered by a Syrian refugee that had entered Canada unvetted.
What you have to say about the arrest in British Columbia of Ibrahim Ali, who was a Syrian refugee, following the murder of a teenage girl named Marissa Shen?
Obviously, it's devastating news for her family, for her friends. It's a terrible tragedy. Anytime someone is murdered, it's a terrible thing. I trust our justice system. I trust our system to go through its processes to both apply consequences to this and to make sure that we're thinking about how we continue to keep people safe.
If it hadn't been for the surge in Syrian refugees after the 2015 election, guys like this guy would not be here.
I'm not one of those people who says that.
Veteran Brock Blaschek, who was told he's asking for too much.
Because honestly, Mr. Prime Minister, I was prepared to be injured in the line of duty when I joined the military. Nobody forced me to join the military. I was prepared to be killed in action. What I wasn't prepared for, Mr. Prime Minister, is Canada turning its back on me. So which veteran was it that you were talking about?
Why are we still fighting against certain veterans groups in court? Because they're asking for more than we are able to give right now.
The $565 million and tax breaks to the mainstream media. And of course, we can't forget to mention the eyebrow.
I have consistently stood up for Canadian interests, consistently demonstrated where we disagree, but done so in a polite and cordial context.
The pipeline that was bought and never built was also brought up, but the number one thing that was mentioned was the most recent signing of the UN Global Compact for Migration and the current state of Canada's immigration system in general.
Mr. Prime Minister, do you want the illegal border crossings to stop?
What I want to first do is highlight the extraordinary work that our border patrols, our RCMPs, our border guards, our RCMP, our frontline responders, the Red Cross, humanitarian workers are in dealing with this influx.
Naturally, I couldn't just rely on social media to find out what Canadians thought about Trudeau in 2018. So I went out to Tim Hortons, the one place I knew I would find some hardcore Canadians. I asked some folks the same question I asked you, and here's what they had to say.
He gave the
the Clinton fund, 20 million or whatever that was.
200 million.
Or 200 million. I even have a zero less there. See, 200 million.
And he dressed up in a sari.
Yeah. He danced for
The way he dressed,
and he
yeah.
danced down in it.
What was the best thing he did in 2018?
Nothing.
The best his selfies.
Justin Trudeau did this year?
Actually, the worst thing that Trudeau did is stay as Prime Minister of our country. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, everything he does, the worst thing he can do is wake up in the morning and try to run the country.
Well said.
The worst thing Justin Trudeau did in 2018?
Stopped the pipeline, as far as I'm concerned, and gave all our money away. So,
What's
yeah,
the best thing he did?
I don't know that he did anything good. And when I vote, he sure isn't getting my vote.
Quick question. Worst thing that Justin Trudeau did in 2018?
Trip to India.
I don't want to go viral. Paid off a terrorist.
Yeah, paid off terrorists.
Can you name something good that he did?
Well, if he gets voted out in 2019, that'll be good. That's about it.
I am optimistic about 2019. It's a chance for Canadians to shine and to hold our government accountable. Continue to talk to each other and discover that we do have a lot in common. Involve yourself with community and reconnect with your heritage because, let's admit it, we've lost our way. Let us know what you think in the comments section below, and don't forget to smash the thumbs up button to throw a curveball at the YouTube algorithm. If you would like to support our efforts further, please consider donating at pressfortruth.ca/donate or become a PFT member. Links are always in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and Happy New Year. I'll see you next time. This is Leigh reporting for Press for Truth.
We all want truth. The truth will set you free.